Hi everyone, First One 5 Meteorologist Melissa Meeder here on your Monday morning. It is 8:08 a.m. and we've got a kind of busy next 48 hours or so ahead of us. Today things are relatively quiet. We've got some patchy fog out there, but we do have a First One weather day in place for your Tuesday. So what I'm going to mention first, kind of off the top, is details on that First One weather day at this point. Now, there is going to be a few waves with that first warned weather day. The first wave will be in the morning. Then again, we will see one into the kind of afternoon, evening, and then into the overnight. So Tuesday overall is going to be a little bit on the messy side, and we've got a few waves around for those rain and thunderstorm chances, but mainly in the afternoon and evening, that's when we see that increased severe risk. Now, the severe risk has increased over the last 24 hours. The highest level of severe risk is a 3 out of 5 right now. So we're going to be watching Tuesday very closely. Once we get into the afternoon and evening, that kind of rounds of some rain and thunderstorm activity, we'll see the best chance for those strong to severe storms. We're talking damaging winds, hail as the primary threats. A few tornadoes will be possible and heavy rainfall. So please make sure you have several ways to receive alerts for tomorrow in case there is a weather alert issued in your area. You get that directly to your phone on the First One 5 weather app. So that's kind of an overview for Tuesday. We'll dive into Tuesday a little bit deeper here in just a second, but know that the chance for rain and storms and severe potential is there for your Tuesday and even into Wednesday. But as for right now, today, the kind of main thing this morning that we've been seeing is some areas of patchy, dense fog. Visibility has improved drastically over the last hour, as visibility was much lower, a mile or less, in places like Clinton and Warrensburg and Sedalia. However, visibility all above a mile for almost everywhere but Lawrence and Ottawa. So dense fog still happening in Lawrence and Ottawa right now, kind of on our southwestern end of the I-35 corridor. So if you are driving out that way or driving from Ottawa up into the metro, know that you are likely going to encounter some areas of very dense fog. Make sure you're being very careful on the roadways, using, a large following distance and your low beams for that fog that we've got going on. Now, the good news is the fog eventually should dissipate once we get to about, I would say 10 o'clock at the latest, and then we will see kind of the fog dissipate, clear conditions out there by the time we get to lunchtime hours. So just know fog is around. Most dense fog is in Lawrence over down south towards Ottawa. So be careful on the roadways. Temperature-wise, though, we're starting off seasonal to seasonally warm. We're in the kind of 70s right now. It's 70 at KCI, 73 elsewhere downtown, Olathe Summit. We are generally mostly cloudy at this point. I think we see a little bit of decrease in cloud cover through the morning, generally to partly cloudy, and then maybe we see a little bit more sunshine once we get to the afternoon. Generally mostly sunny conditions at times, but a mix of partly to mostly sunny. We're 77 by 10. We're already at 80 by 11. It's 83 at noon, and we're 84 once 1 o'clock is back. So expect temperatures to warm up pretty quickly. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid this afternoon, so 88 degrees this afternoon. We have a 20% chance for that rain thunderstorm activity. That is not going to be during the daytime. That's going to be overnight. So I just want you to be mindful of overnight rain chances there. The chance for some patchy dense fog this morning continues maybe over the next kind of 2 hours or so, but feels like temperatures this afternoon between about 90 to 93. So we're still hot. We're still humid. Yesterday, I was out for like 10 minutes trying to weed my front yard, and 10 minutes was enough. It was very humid out there. So it will continue to be humid today and will be partly to mostly sunny. Now I want to jump ahead. What are we expecting for that first warned weather day? We're going to kind of dive in deeper. There's a lot that's going to be going on between Tuesday and Wednesday. So today, we're hot and humid. The storms generally hold off during daytime. They come in late tonight and into Tuesday. That leads to several waves that we've got on Tuesday for rain and storms, some of which strong to severe. Our confidence is growing for some of those stronger storms. A first warned weather day is in place. Now we see another round Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Therefore, Wednesday still continues with a chance for rain and storms, and there still is a severe risk on Wednesday. Let's time this out. Today, as you can see, once we get to the later evening, we're mostly clear out there. It's 11 p.m. If you look off towards the northwest, rain and storms are up there. Better chance or I should say the chance for severe weather is happening today for places like Nebraska up towards our northwest. We only have maybe a very low end severe risk out towards like Holt County and Maryville, a level 1 out of 5 risk. So as these storms kind of move in, they will eventually decay as they do so. But if any kind of one strong to severe storm gets going, it's likely going to be as it starts to move into the northwestern counties of our area. So here we are once we get into 3-4 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning. So early commuters will see the chance for rain and thunderstorms as early as 4 a.m., but all of us will see rain and thunderstorm activity for your morning commute in some way or capacity. So here we are at 4 a.m. I mentioned these are likely decaying. We're not expecting these really to be strong to severe. However, the better chance for maybe 1 or 2 would be up towards the northwest. 4 a.m. and then onward as we get into 7, 8, 9 o'clock, the heart of the morning commute, we're mainly looking at rain, maybe some areas embedded with some thunderstorm activity, but that lingers on for a while. Once we get to about 1 o'clock, then things start to quiet down, mainly along and south of the I-70 corridor, and then we start to load up for the chance for the better threat for strong to severe storms, which is going to be in the afternoon into the kind of evening, the second half of the day. We've got a level 2 out of 5 risk highlighted for most of the area. That includes portions of KCMO. However, KCK and along, the Kansas state line and to the west, we have a level 3 out of 5 risk. So overall, what this means, of course, is we all, in all areas, have the threat for strong to severe storms, better threats in our level 3 out of 5 risk, kind of larger hail, the better potential for tornadoes, that sort of thing, and damaging winds are higher in the level 3 out of 5 risk, but all of us in our area pose the risk for large hail, damaging winds, a few tornadoes, and heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall, once again, very similar to what we saw a couple weeks ago when we had that severe weather threat. Heavy rain can cause localized flooding. We are going to likely see a lot of that rain. So widespread heavy rain is going to be possible, and therefore we have concerns for flooding. Whether or not there is severe storms or not, if we get rain, just regular thunderstorm activity, heavy rain will still be a possibility. Once we get to 1 o'clock for tomorrow afternoon, things I mentioned are quieted down, but once we get to about 3-4 o'clock, as you notice, some rain and storms are pulsing up down towards the southwest. These are a little bit iffy, I will say. These storms are going to generally be forming or could form in something called a warm sector as a warm front has lifted up into portions of our area. These storms may or may not form, but if they do, they could bring the potential for, all hazards to form. This lifts up towards the northeast, looking like it's losing a little bit of its oomph as it lifts up to the northeast between about 3 and about 9 p.m. Then we set up for Tuesday night. Tuesday night brings another chance for some scattered rain and thunderstorm activity. Now you're going to see me transition to more of a longer range model because our shorter range models do not have the capability to see this far out yet. So here we are Wednesday at midnight. The chance for some scattered activity. This is going to look a lot more widespread, but Wednesday night Tuesday night, Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning, the chance for some rain and thunderstorm activity, some of which still could be strong to severe. So keep that in mind. But once we get into about the 10, 11 o'clock time frame, we could start to see some more rain and storms start to bubble up. There still is the threat for some strong to severe storms on Wednesday. It is a lower threat, and it shifts off towards the southeast. Level 2 out of 5 risk highlighted in yellow down towards the southeast. A corridor generally across the central areas, including the metro, are in a level 1 out of 5 risk. So we are going to be watching Tuesday and Wednesday very carefully. Make sure you have several ways to receive alerts, especially if any one is issued, you will get that alert, especially because heavy rainfall remains possible. So ponding on the roads, localized flooding, that's all going to be a possibility because 1 to 3 inches of widespread rain are going to be possible. Isolated areas of 4 are capable. So keep that in mind. That's from, 4 a.m. on Tuesday to about 11 a.m. on Wednesday. So just in about, a 30-hour time span, we could see all of that happen. So please make sure you have several ways to receive alerts as we go through the day on Tuesday, but also on Wednesday. Those temperatures right now, as I mentioned, upper 60s, low 70s, 70 in Kansas City. Let's kind of time out the day today. We're 80 by 11. We're in the upper 80s by 5, 88 as our high temperature. Feels like temperatures low to mid 90s. We will be around 87 for Tuesday, but a cold front is coming through. I told you Tuesday's messy. There's going to be a lot of frontal boundaries at play for Tuesday and into Wednesday. But we will see a frontal boundary, a cold front move through Tuesday into Wednesday, and therefore temperatures drop to the lower 80s once we get to Wednesday. So 83 on Wednesday. However, the cooler conditions in the lower 80s will be short-lived because by Thursday we're dry. We're back up into the upper 80s. It's 88 degrees for your Juneteenth. And then once we get to Friday, which is the, official start to summer, it's going to be feeling like at 91 degrees. We remain in the 90s for your Saturday and Sunday. Dry conditions over the weekend. A small chance for rain on Friday at this time. So I know that was a lot of information, but of course, we'll continue to keep you updated with any new information, new changes that we have to that first warned weather day on Tuesday, and then detailing how long it's going to linger on Wednesday. So make sure, you've got several ways to receive alerts. We'll continue to update you throughout the day. I hope everybody has a wonderful Monday and stays hydrated and stays cool in this heat that we're about to have.